politics, but because of reality. And knowing that we can wait forever if we wait for someone else to pay for this, but we have a very grassroots approach to our economy, our economic model, and by structuring Fearless City as a social enterprise, we're actually bringing in revenue and paying our participants for the work that they're doing through the work that we can track towards the project. And we've been very successful so far. And AHA Media is one of the spin-off efforts from that, so we're incubating April Smith and her team in our incubator program, which is also a way to kind of help her with her business plan, help her with her revenue streams, help her access technology. I know I'm going really fast. I guess we've got 14 programs, so it's hard to cover it all systematically in a short window. But the incubator program, I want to flag that because a lot of you know what Boris does with Food Ups and his team. We're a little different. We're not kind of hooking people up with venture capital. We're really more around nurturing, supporting people where they're at, bringing business and entrepreneurs and technologists to the table to support them. So rather than saying to a technologist or an entrepreneur, hey, give us $5,000, it's more like, hey, give us 40 hours over the next 12 months. And April and team or so-and-so is doing an interactive film project, they need help with their business plan, or they need help to figure out technology platform issues, they need to figure out the marketplace. So bringing expertise to the table, and right now we've got 5 projects in our incubator. So it's about people who have creative technology solutions, products, ideas, festivals, events, and they don't know how to execute them. They don't know how to come to the product, distribute the product. So we hook them up with people, we give them workstations. So you might have an idea for that, or you may want to be a mentor for someone in that program that we run. But it's, in particular, again, it goes back to our social values around social inclusion, digital divide. So we're looking at people and projects that who are facing barriers, who don't have the resources to take a 2-year course at BCIT, or don't have the social status or the social capital to secure venture capital. So we're looking at what's our niche. Our niche isn't to incubate everything. Our niche is to really focus on people who have really bright ideas, but aren't getting access to the resources they need. So telepresence, mobile, the incubator, the Blade Runners training program, apprenticeship program, the radio station, the community TV station. In probably April, we'll be applying for a community broadcasting license through the CRTC. If we're successful, that'll be a huge victory for community access to the television systems. If you remember back in the day, Rogers would have neighborhood community TV offices on Davie Street, Commercial Drive, Kitsilano. So we're kind of going back to that model of saying, actually this is a fundamental right of Canadians to broadcast on the cable system. And so if we're successful, Shaw will actually be required to carry our channel. And in our basement, we'll be having, most of the community TV producers in Vancouver will be using our basement space and broadcasting it. So when you think about democracynow.org, Amy Goodman broadcasts out onto 800 stations right now. It's really using those kind of bold strategies of we've got technology, we've got stories to tell, and how can we use our dissemination systems.
And that would be if we're successful with that TV station, that would be a tool available to this entire community at this event, as well as the Downtown Eastside and arts and media creators, community media creators from all walks. It could be really, really powerful. And unlike a business controlled outlet like the community TV channels are now, this would be controlled by, or operated would be a better term rather than controlled by, a group, whose mandate is open media. W2, that's a big part of our mandate. So, it could be really exciting and really open things up.
So I met a couple young people who are super gung-ho about composting, and they want to, they're super charming, and they're they have a blog and they go out to schools and they promote composting. Do you guys want to do it like your own TV show? So that's the perfect example. Here's 2 people who have a story to tell, who are very organized, but they don't have access to the airwaves. They don't have access to a studio. They don't want to go to Surrey at 2 in the morning to the Shaw Studios to access. So they can get some training with us, and they can produce their own web channel. Now, what happens if we hook them up with other young people in our cluster who are also doing great youth content? Well, eventually, within 12 to 18 months, we should be having a 24/7 youth web channel, right? And then what happens if we can disseminate a live hip-hop show on a Friday night with 150 kids watching hip-hop downstairs to APTN and do a live show on APTN? Well, we technically have that, right? Because we have satellite, fiber optic, FM radio, cable television, and mobile streams. So we're set up. The question is bringing it all together and staging that growth, which will be a huge issue for us, is the scaling up. We open in January. We run a major program during the Olympics. We start building more walls starting March, April. And at that point in, then we'll be like, okay, when does the web channel start? Who's responsible for that? Which committee is operating it? And we're very, I think Hazen's, Magnus is giving an indication, we're very flat. I mean, yes, I'm the executive director, and he's the chair of the board, and April's on the board, but we're a very flat organization. There's, as you flagged, there's 20 member organizations, there's 6 committees, there's 500 people on our Ning site, there's about 400 people on our Facebook site. So of our member groups, the 20 member groups, those represent a membership of 125,000 people. So in terms of crowdsourcing our future, that is the only way we're going. We're going there just because it makes sense in our business model. It's also a necessity in the funding environment. It's more important to reach those 125,000 people who are members of the Roundhouse or members of Cooperative or members of CGSF, or say, hey, you're a member of this radio station or you're a member of this printing club. This organization is also a member of W2, and here's the vision. Can you kick us down $5? So if 125,000 people kick down $5, we pretty much nailed down the rest of our capital fundraising campaign. We've raised 1.3 million, and our goal is 2.6. So we're making good headway.
Are you guys tax deductible, nonprofit?
Yeah.
Is there a button on your website that you can contribute?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We're doing a rebuild on our Ning site in the next week or two, and that's a good suggestion. Thanks.
Cool. So first of all, this is really exciting. I've just been hearing bits and pieces about it in the paper, and I think it's really cool. I see you got the Amsterdam shirt on. There's a few places like that in Amsterdam, but it's not, doesn't necessarily have the access angle that you guys are including. You're doing so much, and I'm really excited for it.
Cool.
So as far as sustainability, right? I'm curious, like, because the government grants are drying up, right? There could be a lot of public sector work, and it's just a reality.
Yeah.
So you're saying, like, for the Fearless City, like, how are you generating income? Like, are you doing advertising? I've never seen any of the streaming or anything like that.
Well, what we're doing for Fearless right now is we're gearing up to a huge program that starts in February, which will be integrated with the Pivot BC Civil Liberties Association monitor teams. And we've been having discussions the last 4 months with Google, Now Public, and Uptake, Zandy, to figure out what the final platform is going to be. We don't want to replicate. We don't want to become. We want everybody in Vancouver to be working on one platform. So we're just trying to wait till that coalesces, and then we'll be running that out, essentially creating a live streaming environment for people around the world to watch what's happening on the streets in Vancouver and inside the cultural sites in Vancouver. So that's our major work right now. We're fundraising for that. April's getting ready for it, and her team, and so we're just that's the next.
But keep the lights on for the next year or two, right? Like you're not even looking that far ahead yet necessarily, right? Like I'm assuming you're shooting for multiple revenue sources. Like.
AHA Media is we've splintered Fearless in a way because we couldn't build Fearless City at the same time as all these other projects. So AHA Media basically took the lead. They're self-organized Downtown Eastside residents who we've trained, and they are now bidding on contracts at conventions and.
Yeah, we're doing project by project and contract basis. So.
Yeah, so you guys are pulling contract money as well.
Absolutely,
it's all what we call program sales.
Yeah.
So
we've done a lot of work in the social media community. Usually people do see me behind the camera filming, providing social media content. So for blogs, videos, Twitter, live stream, live feed videos, anywhere from Victoria to Whistler, we've traveled. And also our focus is to cover community events in the downtown east side. So when things do happen, people can see our perspective instead of the usual, say, Operation Phoenix Province global TV perspective. So it's we're creating our own type of media from a community perspective, from the lessons we learned through Fearless City Mobile and with W2 also.
So and one of the next things for her crew is that they need more marketing and business planning to actually attract, because essentially they're in a really, really good market position to get a lot of work, because both nonprofits and governments want to be seen to be supporting, you know, a project like that when they're purchasing media services. So, plus we provide way lower